Hello and welcome to the Limitless Landscapers podcast. I'm Paula, and today I'm talking about running a business. It is not easy. Most of you will know this, and yeah, I'm going to dive a little deeper. So let's go to the show.
As the co-founders of the Landscaper Circle, we help you get more money, time and freedom to become limitless through our experiences as fellow landscapers and our tried and tested methods. If you want help with your marketing, managing or growing your business, you've definitely come to the right place. If you're a landscaper, garden designer or supplier to the industry, then hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get back to the show.
Hello. How are you? Yes, today I thought I'd talk about running a business. It seems to be something that is cropping up not only for me, but for many of my clients as the landscapes coach. And it's quite interesting because I've had probably around 4 exact same conversations in the last week and a half around how hard it is running a business and how, particularly in this industry, you can feel like giving up. And I say, in particular in this industry, I'm not saying that it's easy to run a business outside of the landscaping industry, but we tend to have such unusual circumstances. So what makes it really difficult in this industry is the weather. We are governed massively by the weather, and it's completely out of our control. So it's learning to mitigate that risk and seeing how we can fully embrace the business even when the weather's going down the pan. The second thing we have is we are hugely skill short. So there is not as many people coming into the landscaping industry. We all struggle to get staff. We all struggle to get, the real good skilled staff as well, which can be difficult. And it's a difficult job. It's not easy to be going out in all weathers. It's really hard work, and not a lot of people really want to do that for a job for the next however many years of their life, and I don't blame them. We also have the seasonal variation to contend with. Now, I'm not saying that you'll have a lack of work, but it's more so you have to manage the winter months and also really manage the summer months when it goes completely crazy and we all get overwhelmed. We're rushing around, we're building the teams, and then we get to winter and we're closing down for Christmas, people having time off, and you've got shorter days to get the work done in. So we've got all of these external influences which can sometimes put a lot of pressure on people when you run the business yourself. And this is certainly the discussion points we've had over the last week and a half, where people are thinking, should I just carry on? Should I grow the business? Should I reduce the business? What should I do? And I'm not here to give you the answer because that is obviously individual to everyone. But it is interesting that this is kind of coming about in multiple conversations, certainly where in my own business as well. So we're constantly thinking on a pendulum swing of grow, go small, change completely, because it's really frustrating. And I'm going to put to you a couple of things really, because the problem with running any business is it takes over your life. So your work-life balance, when you're growing it, goes out the window. Now, when you get to a certain level of business, when you've got a bigger business, when you've got systems in place, when you've got good staff in place, when the business is not reliant on you driving it forward, then I think we'll all be in a happier place. However, this isn't always possible. And essentially, we have to think, can we continue as we are, or should we go small or change or whatever it might be? So really, it goes back to connecting with your why. Why the heck are you doing this in the first place? What is your reason to get up in the morning? Why do you do this job? Why do you build this business? What is the reason why? For me, it is for a weird work-life balance, although it takes over your life work. I mean, I'm recording this at 23:36. because it's just got to the end of the day, lots of after school clubs and things going on. So this is the only chance I've been able to be alone to record this and had the time to sit down and deliver it as well. So, it does consume all times of your life. It impacts on, your days, your evenings, etc. But it also gives me the flexibility to be able to work the hours I need to work around my family. So my huge why is I want to be a present parent for my children. I don't want to miss any of their school plays. I don't want to have to put them in before and after school club. So for me, the reason I choose to run my own business is because I want to work around the children. And this gives me that ultimate flexibility. Yes, I'm working late tonight, but actually I'll be taking them to school tomorrow, picking them up. I can go to, if they've got a play running or they're doing anything within school that you have to be there, like book looks and stuff, I can be there. And that was my driving factor. So I'm asking, what is yours? What is your why? Why are you doing this? That's the first thing you need to do, reconnect with your why. Then you need to think about your exit strategy. What is the end goal? What is your end game? Watch Avengers. What is your end game? How are you going to exit the business? Have you even thought about this yet? I've thought lots about this over the years, and it's getting clearer and clearer in my mind. Yes, things change, but essentially you need to think about your exit, not just why you're doing it, but the exit around it. So what are you going to do after you sell the business, pass it down, or maybe you continue working in it? Who knows? You think about what your exit strategy is, because there's got to be an exit plan. Are you going to sell? Don't know. Are you going to hand it down? Are you going to continue working on it and just have more people involved? There's lots and lots and lots of ways to get out and exit the business, but that's down to you. So that's the second thing I want you to do, is look at your exit strategy and think about, what kind of life you're going to have when you finish the business, because then that will lead on to the third thing I want you to think about, which is, how are you going to get there? So without a plan, you're most likely going to fail. It's like being on a rudderless ship or a car without a destination plugged in, just going around randomly, aimlessly. So you've got your exit strategy. What are your goals between now and then? When are you going to exit your business? Or when do you hope to exit your business? What are the big goals between then? What's the goal for the end of this year, for instance? We haven't got long left. We're halfway nearly into the year. What are you going to aim for? And what is the plan to get there? So it's thinking about not only your exit strategy, but how are you going to get there and make sure that's going to happen? Because it's all right having an exit strategy where you sell the business for X amount of money, but unless you get that business to be worth that money, which means doing some work between now and, how are you going to sell it for that much money if you're not going to put the work that needs to be put in to make it a valuable and viable business to move to, to sell on? If that is your exit plan, by the way, it's not obviously the only way. So we need to look at your goal setting. And this is what I'm going to go back with my new mastermind clients, because ultimately we all set goals at the beginning of the year. I mentioned this on last week's podcast or the week before. And essentially then we forget and we just go about day to day. We fight all the fires. We do all of the things and we feel like we're not really moving forward. We're treading water. And I think that's because we're not connecting with all of these things I'm going through, plus the goal setting and planning in between, because we need to plan. We need to make sure we're making important steps towards your goals. And that leads me on to how you are going to work on your goals, because I know, having a landscape business of my own, seeing my husband trying to do all of the things, be on the tools, be off the tools, working on the business, trying to launch a new service, it's overwhelming and it's difficult. And it's thinking about, how can you use some focused time? So with one of my clients, there's been an action on his to-do list for months. And I mean months, probably 3, 4, 5 months. And what is a website? Now, he's got one, but he's not happy with, and he doesn't want to do the marketing until he's got a good website to send people to. Completely understand that. So the key there is to how are we going to get him from not doing anything on the website because he feels overwhelmed because there's a lot to do, to making it more manageable and actually achieving those steps within the fact that he's still got to run a business, manage teams, etc., all the other things. So firefighting and getting pulled away. And the way I suggested and what I'm going to share with you is imagine what you could do with 20 minutes a day. And I think what people tend to do, myself included, is you catastrophize this thing you have to do. So for this client, a website. And essentially it feels bigger, it feels scary, it feels like it's too big to tackle in one session. You're going to need a day, you're going to need maybe even 2 days to sit down and do it. And those days never come because it just feels too big a hurdle to overcome. So what if you just broke it down to spending 20 minutes a day on that? So my advice was, why don't you spend 20 minutes every single day doing something on the website, whether that is building a folder full of images you want to change on the website and want to use. So just collating that, because that can take time, as you well know, unless you're super organized and you've got them ready in folders. If you're anything like me, your photos are everywhere. And whenever you need to find them, it takes a long time to search. But essentially, that's one task he could do over a couple of days. Then perhaps it would be to rewrite one page in 20 minutes. And there's lots of tools out there now, a lot of AI tools like ChatGPT and others that can help you with this or help you get started. And essentially, just spending 20 minutes a day, focused action on something that's going to move the needle forward. And I don't mean 20 minutes a day spending on your emails. That is not moving the needle forward. It's just a admin activity. I'm talking about the big things you are putting off, such as improving your website, such as spending time on competitor analysis or your ideal client. I'm going to do a podcast episode about the avatar and ideal client. Maybe you need funding. So how are you going to get that funding? Perhaps you could spend 20 minutes a day looking at funding applications or ways to fund the business if you're looking down that route. Perhaps you'll spend 20 minutes a day working on contracts for your staff that you're employing. Perhaps you'll spend 20 minutes a day building up the systems in your business and the processes, documenting them so that you've got them in place going forward. All of these things, focus 20 minutes a day. And it popped up actually when I was on Instagram last week, and it was a guy on a motivation, like a business motivation channel, I suppose. And essentially he was saying that if you spend 20 minutes down one thing, so he used the example of learning a skill. So he used the example of learning martial arts. If you spent 20 minutes a day doing that, by the end of the year, you would be more competent than 95% of people in that task. And it's all about making consistent effort on focused tasks that are going to move you forward. So something that I'm doing is, as you well know by now, is a bodybuilding competition next year. Part of it is I need to practice posing. So for me, 20 minutes a day needs to be spent practicing posing going forward. So these are just things that you need to think of, things that are going to move the needle forward towards your goal, which is the key. Little steps, little consistent steps every single day, even when you don't want to. For instance, today, I didn't want to do cardio because I hate it, but I had to do it. It's a step towards my goal. If I don't do it, I'm not going to achieve what I need to in order to hit my goal next year. And that's looking way ahead. It will come around really quickly. And it's the same thing in business. What are you trying to do in the short and long term? And what consistent effort can you put into place to make sure you're actually moving forward rather than firefighting on a daily basis, everything that crops up? And I know everything does crop up. So that is number 4. What are you spending your 20 minutes a day on? What are you going to spend it on? What are you going to do consistently? What are you not going to make the excuse not to do? Because excuses are rubbish. They're just procrastination and they just stop you from hitting your goals. Another thing you need to get going is a routine. Number 5, my 5th thing to show you is a routine. If you do not get into a routine of getting this stuff done. So doing the 20 minutes focused activity a day, anything really, setting up a good routine that works for you is key to make sure you get your mindset in place, to make sure you are focused on the day ahead, to make sure you are on track towards your goal. You could, in your routine, for instance, it might just be a set bed and wake time. It could be a set time that you go and do your self-care, which could be exercise or meditation or reading or walking or gratitude or anything really. Any self-care activity, maybe you need to schedule that in. Maybe it's just to work on your mindset. So that could be anything from positive affirmations, it could be journaling, it could be listening to a motivational podcast. Go check out more episodes on here. It could be that you are, reading a book. I'm reading Roxy Nafalsi Manifest 2 at the moment. Maybe it's just to do that and get into a routine of reading an excerpt to get you ready for the day. Maybe it's just practicing gratitude. It could be an abundance of things. But essentially, if you haven't got a routine, you're not going to stick to it. You're not going to stick to anything. The idea is you set a good routine that's realistic. Number one, it's got to be realistic and you have got to enjoy. It can't be something that's a bore or becomes a real nightmare task because you won't stick to it. So it's got to be something that you are going to love to do. It's got to be something that is going to change your thoughts and how you're moving forward. And it's got to have a positive impact on you and your business, really. That's the whole meaning of it. And it doesn't have to be massive, by the way. It might even just be, and this used to be something I used to do, again, it's fell by the wayside because it didn't become a habit. Again, you've got to think about how often you need to repeat something in order for it to become a habit. I used to have my morning coffee and sit for a minute and just think of nothing. So bat all thoughts. So basically like a minute meditation, bat all thoughts away, just breathe, not think about anything, just clear your mind. And that would just be to ground me ready for the day. Whatever it could be, it's up to you. But setting a good routine that works for you is key, and it's got to be positive. It's got to have a positive impact. There's no good having a routine where you go down the pub for 5 beers every night, because all that's going to leave you with is a hangover and no motivation for the following day. And my final thing is, when you are trying to reduce the firefighting within your business that we all experience, by the way, I am not immune to this, nobody is, you need to look at ways to make things easier for yourself. Now, one of these things I've been given this week by my coach, or last week when I spoke to her, was about your to-do list. Now, if you're anything like me, I have a to-do list which is massive. When you are running businesses, you've got family, there's a lot of stuff going on. So essentially, I split my huge to-do list into 3. I set it into business 1, the landscaping business, business 2, this one, coaching, and number 3 was personal stuff. So things that had to go on the personal, things like sort out insurance, etc. So you have your personal one, then you have your business one, and anything else. You might have other things going on that you want to focus on. So it's about splitting out your to-do list into separate lists, and then it's creating from those lists a today to-do list. Now, a today to-do list is taking things from each of the lists, maximum of 3 or 4, not from each list, total 3 or 4 things that you're going to get done today. And it's all about trying to be realistic, because what we tend to do as human beings is we think we should finish a certain number of things and you don't. And then you beat yourself up, and then you end up in this repetitive cycle of having a huge to-do list, feeling very overwhelmed, not getting anything done. And we go on and on in this procrastination cycle, feeling like you're not getting anywhere apart from treading water, feeling the utter doom, shall we give up, etc., etc. So by doing this today to-do list, is you put only 3 to 4 things on that you can get done in that day. Now, I've been practicing this not yet a full week, and it's quite interesting because you feel like you need to put more than 3 or 4 things on. My first today list had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things on, and I only got 3 of them done. So essentially, it just proves that that was ridiculous that I did that because I wasn't being realistic. I was thinking what I should get done because 3 things did not feel like enough to have got done in a day. Now, that was 3 important things over and above other things that are going on in the business, in your life. So, for instance, one of mine was complete a funding application, prepare for Bewley's show, which we did, so getting the stuff together, leaflets together, etc. Call inquiries, do a newsletter, and get the invoicing done. That was too much for one day around other things such as client calls, picking up the kids, appointments for the dogs, myself, the kids, after school clubs, etc. So just think about on your today to-do list, maximum 4 things that come from the other to-do list that you've separated out to make it easier for your brain to understand. And then you work on them for the day. So it's kind of like setting intentions. So you've got 3 to 4 intentions that you're going to get done for the day. But please be realistic. Don't put things on the list that you really know in the back of your mind you're not going to get done. I knew on that particular day I wouldn't get the funding application done because it was too big a task to get done on that day alongside the rest. So that had to be just a separate thing another day where I just focused on that for one day. It's about trying to get your brain, because then once you've achieved it, you feel better, you feel more motivated. And then once you've achieved it, you could add something else. So once you've done your 3 to 4 today to-do list items, if you've done them and you've got time left, you can either go and do something fun for yourself to make sure you're in a positive frame of mind feeling that way. Or 2, you could get another item done off the to-do list, just work on the next thing. So it doesn't mean you just get it done, that's it, unless you want to. You can add another item to that. But it's all about being realistic. It's about not feeling overwhelmed, because the problem is if you don't finish a to-do list, so by writing out big to-dos, it's great because it comes all out of your head, you don't forget things. But if you don't tick it off, your brain feels like there's an unfinished business, unfinished loop. It'll keep thinking about it. You will feel unfocused. It leads to overwhelm, which leads to procrastination, which means you never get anything done. So essentially, try that. Try doing the today to-do list and see how that works for you. I think that's it for tonight. I'm now going to go to bed. But if you've got any questions on these things, because that's essentially, in a nutshell, a couple of 6 things that you need to think about if you are struggling with your business right now. And I know many of us are, because it's not easy. And if it was easy, every man and his dog would do it. We are part of, the small minority of people. Sometimes you think everyone's got a business, and it's not until you are in the normal world outside of talking to other businesses like you do, that you are probably one of the only ones in your circle of friends. I don't know. A lot of my friends are mums. Many of them do not run their own businesses. Many of them do not understand why I do it. So it's really important to, congratulate yourself for actually running a business. It is hard work. I take my hat off to you. I salute you. And most importantly, I support you. So if you need any help with business, if you need any help reframing your mindset, if you need any help with goal setting, anything I've covered today and more, please go over to The Landscapers Coach. Email me, paula@thelandscaperscoach.co.uk. Give me a buzz, DM me on Instagram. I'm mainly over on Instagram. Or give me feedback direct on this podcast. It's great to hear from you guys. And if I can help any more of you, let me know. We do have a couple of spots left on the Up-Level Your Business Mastermind, which I'm super excited for. Yeah, it's going to be great. It starts in the next couple of weeks officially, and I've got some really, really good landscapers that I get to work with for the next 6 months. And if you want to join them and up-level your landscaping business, then get in touch. I'd love to hear from you. You can book a free discovery call to find out more. And yeah, see if you fit right in with the current guys who are on there. So I think that's it for tonight. And I will see you on the next episode of the Limitless Landscapers podcast. Bye, guys.